So hey guys, thanks for joining me for another video. If you haven't watched one of my videos before, I'm the Random Watch Dude. My name is Mark, and I basically just make videos where I'm plotting the journey through the watch maze, as you might call it, particularly when it comes to buying and selling and enjoying the hobby, social media, and really just trying to make sense of this ridiculous hobby that is collecting watches. Now today in front of you, you can see that I've got an Omega box here. It's one of the older Omega boxes, not like those lovely new ones that are made of that faux wood. I know some people think that they are made of wood, but I'm pretty certain, guys, that those newer Omega watch boxes are actually just resin that's got a thick lacquer on it, which is then polished. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'd love to know, actually, whilst we're just talking about Omega boxes. This is one of the old ones, of course. Those newer Omega boxes, guys, I'm certain that they're just made of resin. With a thick lacquer on them, but please correct me if I'm wrong. This is one of the older neo-vintage, almost bordering on vintage watch boxes. This is the packaging that you get typically with one of those older Omegas, and I've talked about these cases in the past. They do have a tendency to fall apart. This is faux leather, and they do have a tendency to fall apart. Now, if you're wondering why I'm making this video in such crazy, difficult light, because it's very bright on the one side and very shadowy and dark on the other, yes, I'm sat on the path leading down my garden, which is where I tend to make most of my videos, but I also wanted to take advantage of this particular light that we've got going on here today. Because this particular light is perfect for showing you this watch. This watch is crazy, by the way. I wasn't intending to buy this watch, but I did. It's one of those watches that I saw for sale on Chrono24, one of my favourite sellers in Japan, and I just thought, Mark, you've got to buy that watch. So without any further ado, guys, I'm going to open this box and show you what it is I've got here. Let me just pull it out. So this is an OMEGA Seamaster. There you go. Excuse the plaster, by the way. I had a fight with a kitchen knife last night and I lost. But guys, more importantly, this is an OMEGA Seamaster. And this is what is commonly referred to as the electric blue. Now, why is it referred to as the electric blue? Because look at that dial. Look at the dial on that. There's a phrase you won't hear very often. Look at the dial on that. So guys, this is a 41mm automatic watch. It's very, very similar to my 2254.5. You'll have seen I've made a couple of videos on that watch now. Now that's the classic version of this iteration of Seamaster, which is often referred to as the Peter Blake. And that's got a black bezel and a black face. This one, as you can see, is almost identical to that watch, except I'll just catch it in the light there. It's got this fantastic electric blue dial. As you can see, it's taking advantage of that lovely wave curve that Omega put on their dials back in the late 90s and the early 2000s. That really nice wave pattern dial there, and this obviously is on a stunning electric blue dial, and it's complemented by what is essentially just a polished steel bezel, and the inlays there are actually slightly embossed with very, very dark blue. Looks almost black in most lights. It's a very, very dark blue kind of coloration that they've put in the markers around the bezel. So yeah, it's pretty much a Peter Blake, guys, but with an absolute stonker of a dial, I think. I'll just take it off now. Now, I wasn't actually intending to buy this watch. I mean, it's certainly a watch that I've admired and ogled for a long time. There are lots of these for sale on Trade Me and Chrono24. Why did I buy this one? Well, I bought this one in particular because I saw it come up for sale. And, you know, what I really loved about this particular watch, apart from the condition, because the seller assured me that the condition was very good, which it is. But the reason I bought it, the main reason I bought it, guys, is because it came as the full set. Now, call me crazy, call me a nutty lunatic watch collector, and you may, because I think I might be. But I really, really am quite passionate about buying this kind of era of watch as a full set. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, not just because I think it is a better investment, I think, in the longer term if you've got the full set. But more than anything, guys, I love the packaging. I love the cards. I love the, having the full set of links, even if the box is a little bit tatty, which it is. I think when you get into these neo-vintage watches, you're buying a little bit of somebody else's history. You want to add a bit of your own to it. And that's why I like having a full set. So as you can see, it's on that really nice thin profile Seamaster clasp. It's got that nice writing in there, OMEGA Seamaster Professional, and of course, this gorgeous solid case back, guys. I mean, why would you not want an OMEGA Seamaster with this gorgeous solid case back? Why would you not want that over a sapphire case back that shows you just shows you a spinning rotor, basically, that's been nicely polished? I'd much rather have this gorgeous, the hippocampus logo and that lovely wave, nice thick embossing on the wave dial there. Really nice thin watch. I've done a review on the 225 4.5 in the past, but I just wanted to show you this one. Just trying to catch it in the sunlight there. There you go. It's a lovely pop of electric blue. It's kind of, it's catching the pattern, of course, but it's also catching the wave dial and just giving off all these really nice, almost sort of perfect summer vibes, really. And if you were going into the summer now, which you are in the northern hemisphere, of course, this is just a perfect summer watch, isn't it? I mean, look at that lovely summer dial. It's like, we call it the electric blue, but you could also call it, the summer blue, the aquamarine blue as well. So yeah, really, really happy with this watch, guys. I wanted to show it to you because, I'm plotting my watch journey, so why shouldn't I show it to you? I'm going to put it to one side for now because I just wanted to show you, when I talk about full set and how important that is to me, I just wanted to show you, the other bits and pieces that I got with the watch. So let me just close that back down there. And I'll just show you here. So here, we've obviously got the card pouch here, the faux leather card pouch. They still make this, actually. They've been making or supplying their watches with these faux leather pouches for a good 20 years plus now. And look at this. Bedtime reading. This is the best bedtime reading you can get. I mean, it's an OMEGA book. If you want to be able to read how to set your OMEGA watch in 15, 20, 25 different languages, or better still, if you wanted to learn how to speak Spanish or French or German or Uzbekistani, if that is a language of itself, this is the book to start with, guys. How to set your watch. You can pretty much work out how to set your watch in any language with this book, and I think this is totally this is going to be a bestseller if this ever gets released and put into WH Smith. This will be a bestseller. The operational instructions for an OMEGA Seamaster, in 25 different languages. So putting that down, what else did I get? Because that's just a part of it. What else do I get here? I get the cards. I mean, obviously when it comes to sets, the cards are what you're looking for, aren't they? So typically, there's a native bird called a fantail. I'm tempted to turn my camera around and show you. I will, actually, because he's right here. Let me just see if I can turn my camera around and show you here. No, I can't. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. What a shame. So the fantail's gone. He's just sprayed a... Oh no, he's right here. Let me see if I can... There we are. There we are. So there's a native fantail. There you are. And they're very, very friendly birds. Where have you gone? I think he has gone now. They tend to hang around. They're very friendly birds. They tend to hang around and just flare their tail up. They've got a lovely... they make a lovely sound. Oh, he's back. Very friendly. They tend to hang around people. I'm not entirely sure why. But they get very close. I mean, he's about a metre away from me now. They do like to get very close. They tend to just hang around in the low bush here, looking for little bugs. There he is. Every now and then they splay their tail out. Hence, they're called a fantail. Now, they splay their tail out. I'm not entirely sure why. It looks almost like they're showing off. They're displaying. And they'll do it to people as well as other birds. They're quite funny, almost tame little native birds to watch. And he could hang around here for several minutes, just showing off, splaying his feathers, catching the odd bug. There's also a native bird called the New Zealand robin. It's a black member of the native or the robin family, which is obviously more common in Britain because they're a lovely red breasted bird. But here in New Zealand, it's jet black, called the black robin, of course, very original. And that's very similar. They'll come right up to you and display to you, and if you kick the ground in front of you, if you're on a footpath and you kick the ground in front of you, they'll actually come right down to your feet because they want to have a look for the worms that you've just uncovered when you've kicked the ground, and upset all the leaf litter. Very trusting birds they are. To their detriment, unfortunately, because very trusting animals tend to get eaten, don't they? But anyway, where was I? Cards, right? Okay, cards. So here we are. So here is the International Warranty Card. Now, this is obviously the most important card, but as well as that, you get a chronometer certificate. So this is just a card to reassure you that it's been tested to chronometer standards. And you get this is the most important card, really, isn't it? The pictograms, it's that little card that's got lots of drawings on it that tell you it's an automatic and that it's waterproof. It's called the pictograms card. It tells you that the calibre is the 1120, which is a modified ETA, heavily modified ETA. But this card, guys, let's come back to this card. There's a couple of interesting things about this card. So as you can see here, International Warranty Card, over here on the right, you can see that the date that this watch was purchased was November 2002. I think it says the 27th there. The stamp that they used didn't quite catch the bit where the print sticks, but I'm pretty sure that's the 27th of November 2002. So this watch is 21 and a half years old, 22 years old nearly. And as you can see here, it was bought from the jeweler was DFS Galleria. Now, Surfers Paradise. DFS Galleria is duty-free store, Galleria. They've got places all over the world. And 25 Cavill Avenue, Surfers Paradise in Queensland. So that's in Australia. So this watch, which I bought from Japan, which would have been traded in by a private owner in Japan to a seller, who I've now bought it from via Chrono24. That person that traded it into the seller in Japan originally bought this watch, or it certainly originated in Surfers Paradise, which is a lovely kind of holiday hotspot on the Queensland coast. I've been there myself as a backpacker, actually, many years ago. Stayed there for a couple of weeks, and actually I was staying in a backpackers hostel, and I ended up making good friends with a rabbi. So a young Israeli fella who was he referred to himself as an up and coming young rabbi, but he was a complete and utter alkie, and he and I went out drinking most nights and playing pool, and trying to avoid getting into fights, because he had a tendency, once he'd had a few drinks, to try and wind everybody up in the bar. So spent some of my time trying to stay out of trouble with him, but he was a funny guy. And so I've got quite a I don't know what you'd call it, a nice sort of link to Surfers Paradise. It's got some good memories for me there. I spent some time there. So this watch came from there. But the interesting point I just wanted to make was that my 2254 4.5 also came from this very store, from this very authorised dealer in Surfers Paradise. That watch also came from Japan via a different seller, and that watch was a 2000 watch. So 2 years prior to this watch being sold, which I now own, I bought another Seamaster, which was also supplied by this very store. So it's quite funny, actually, isn't it? It came from Australia. Both those watches came from Australia. Went to Japan. I'm going to say Tokyo, because that's where most people probably would have emanated from. Tokyo is just such a huge city, and then spent 20 years in Japan, and it's made its way back to the Antipodes via this time New Zealand. So where will it end up next? Who knows? So now, when I bought the watch, I didn't know that. I didn't know that that this watch came from the very same authorised dealer that I bought my 2254, but it is a very nice coincidence, and that kind of again just adds a little bit of charm and a little bit of an emotional attachment to this particular watch. What I also got with this, now talking about full sets, what I also got, I'm just going to get it out of the packet here, was I got the original hang tag as well. So you know, doesn't look like much, does it? It's just a little hang tag. These are the little tags that that typically they, you know, when you see a watch in a showroom, in a boutique, you know, this will be dangling off of the bracelet, getting in the way when you're trying to put the bracelet on. You know, this will be the little thing that gets in the way of the clasp. And so this quite often gets chucked away. Most of this gets chucked away, by the way, guys. And that's why, for me, having a full set, you know, of even the hang tag, you can see here, this little area here is where they would have had the original price tag for the watch when it was dangling off your wrist, you know, and you had a little heart attack when you saw how much it was. But of course, by then you've fallen in love with it, so you'll just get your wallet out and buy it anyway. But yeah, to have the full set, you know, of a 20-year-old watch I think it's really nice. I think it adds, you know, a nice bit of charm and character to the whole, you know, to the whole experience. It certainly does enable you to retain it as a good investment. And guys, look at that. That's just a stunning dial, isn't it? What a beautiful watch, and what a beautiful dial. Just catches the light so nice. But when you twist it away from the light, it just I don't know if I can do it because it is such a bright day today, but maybe like that. You know, it almost looks black in some lights. And then when you flick your wrist around and, you know, you catch it in a slightly different light, and you've got this lovely electricity, you know, just booming out of it. So really nice. I'll just finish with a wrist shot, guys. This is what it looks like on my just over 7-inch wrist. So it's got a really nice presence to it, particularly in the light. I really do think this is just a fantastic choice for a neo-vintage summer watch. I think that's just really nice, or even during the winter to cheer yourself up, you know, on a bright day in the winter. So I will do a side-by-side, guys. As I said, I've got the 2254.5, you know, the Peter Blake, which is the much more commonly, I guess, reference that's reviewed, particularly on YouTube as well. You'll have seen a lot more of those reviewed than this one. But I really like this watch, and although it's pretty much identical to the Peter Blake, apart from the bezel and the dial, I bought this not only because it was a full set and it looked to be in great condition, but I also bought it because I just love the way these watches wear. You know, they sit so nicely on the wrist, nice and flat there, lovely low profile look, low profile on the clasp as well, on the bracelet. And I actually think that these two watches, you know, this and the 2254.5, can sit side by side in a collection. I don't think that there's a significant duplication of watches there. I'm actually perfectly happy to say that I'm going to keep both of these watches and just wear them side by side. I will do a side-by-side review when I get my 2254.5 back from service. It's due back in 2 or 3 weeks. I'll do a side-by-side then. But for now, guys, thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching the video. Sorry about the slight detour there to look at the fantail, but it's not often you get to video a fantail and put it on YouTube, so I thought that might be fun. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Please do like, please do comment. Let me know if you've got this watch yourself. Let me know what you think. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Cheers.